Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I'm the Assistant Executive Director of the International Association of Trans Bodybuilders and Powerlifters, also known as the IATBP. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister for us too, don't worry. We are a nonprofit based out of Atlanta, Georgia, that is committed to putting on competitive and affirming bodybuilding and powerlifting competitions for transgender and non-binary athletes. We also work on providing other relevant programming and resources for trans athletes and our community. For the first time ever, we're actually expanding into at least 2 cities with our powerlifting meets. Now, our biggest events are a bodybuilding competition and powerlifting meet that we host out of Atlanta every year. This year, it's going to be on November 21st. Now, our focus as an organization is to make high-quality events that are also accessible to our athletes, especially since for some of them, this is the only place that they're actually able to compete. Now, in order to keep the event accessible, we try to keep our costs to the athletes as low as possible. This means everything from our annual membership fee to the cost to register for the event, even our audience tickets are as low as we can reasonably make them be. We just genuinely believe that money should not be the reason stopping you from being able to compete, being able to come in person and make community, and to get all of the benefits that come from training and prepping leading up to a competition. But in order to make these competitions happen, we need your help in one of 2 ways. The first is to share about our events. Every year we hear from athletes who wanted to compete with us but didn't because they didn't learn that we existed until 2 weeks before the competition. This is a huge problem. There is no reason that any and every trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming lifter who wants to compete amongst community, who's thought about competing, who is on the fence about competing, who is just casually lifting but may not realize that they want to compete in 2 years, shouldn't know about us. If you can share this post or any other post about our events to help spread the word now while there's still plenty of time for bodybuilders and powerlifters to prep and train for the competitions in November, that would be a huge help so that they know that they have this space to compete if they want it. Now, the second thing, we also need donations. We really do try to put on the most high quality events for our athletes, while also trying to keep the cost of signing up for the events as low as possible for them. Unfortunately, we don't own either of the venues where we host these competitions, and just renting them costs us several $1,000s. We also need money to rent the equipment and the chairs for the powerlifting meet, to pay all of our staff, our judges, our referees, our spotters, and loaders. We need money to buy food for volunteers and staff, medals and trophies for the athletes, banners, and hopefully event t-shirts. Beyond just putting on the event in November, which is our biggest cost, we also need money to cover all of the other programming that we do for trans athletes in our community throughout the year. Normally, as a nonprofit, we rely on a lot of grant funding in order to do this, but unfortunately, because of the current political climate, it just doesn't seem like there's as much grant funding for LGBTQ nonprofits as there used to be, and a lot of our normal grant funding has fallen through. So our entire IATBP community and network, we are attempting our first ever grassroots style fundraising effort in order to save this year's events. We need your help in order to make sure that these events happen in November. If you'd like to donate to the IATBP and help us empower trans lifters, especially in the current political climate, there's going to be a link in this post, or you can go directly to our website, www.iatbp.org, and donate directly from there. Literally any donation helps. $1, $5, $50. One of the athletes that's competing in this year's competition has matched the first $1,000. That's how important